Hi there, my name's Noni Carr and I'm the Principal Psychologist owner of Enhanced Life Psychology in Prahran. I'm wanting to talk to you today about how we can listen to and sit with others when they are struggling. So this has been prompted by a couple of things. Over the weekend I participated in the Ride With Me event, which was raising funds for the Love Me, Love You Foundation, which is all about raising awareness for youth mental health or mental health in general. And Love Me, Love You provides education for young people about mental health and support to those who are struggling with mental health issues. And so then today I had a new client booked in who unfortunately was unable to make it today because she's struggling. So today I'm wanting to talk about how we can be with people and listen to people in order to support them through their journey in mental health, in discovering their mental health and supporting them to find a way of being mentally well, mentally healthy. And so on this weekend, we rode, about just under 80 people, rode just under 300 kilometres, and it was a tough ride. And it was all about pushing ourselves and supporting each other to push themselves in the challenge to achieve the distance and the climbing. There were some rather challenging climbs on this ride, but it was about experiencing to a very small level the challenges that some people go through sometimes on a daily basis. And I think it was all about that support, and it built that camaraderie with all of us in order to support each other through this event and get back to our start point where we started on Saturday and get back to our start point on Sunday afternoon, feeling like we'd achieved something. Over the event, all up, we raised over $100,000 for the Love Me, Love You Foundation. But I think through this journey, it was every participant and support person, because there was quite a few support people there, learnt about how to put their hand out and support someone who was struggling, or slow down and ride with someone and to give them the encouragement to keep riding, to keep going, almost at the top of the climb. We're almost there, and you got to the top of the climb, you got to the end of the day, and that sense of achievement was fantastic. But I think when we are going through mental health struggles, when we're struggling with our mental health, when we're not feeling content or feeling anxious or sad, or we're struggling to feel hope, like we can't get through the next day, or there's no one wants us around, it's important that someone in our life can turn around and say, hey, you're important to me. What can I do to help you? And sometimes it's important for us to turn around and look out for others in our lives and say, hey, what can I do to help you today? Are you struggling? Would you like to come for a walk? Would you like to come for a bike ride? Would you like to come for a run? Do you want to come for a cup of coffee? Or do you want to just sit? And sometimes that's all it takes for someone else to feel like they're valued and that they're important. And I think sometimes we struggle, if we're struggling with our mental health, we struggle to accept that I'm worthwhile, I'm a valuable person, and that others want me around. And we need that that feedback sometimes. And that feedback can be as simple as someone calling and saying, hey, how you going? Okay, you don't want to talk? Do you want to come over? Do you want me to come over? How about we go for a walk? We don't have to talk. I think that's particularly valuable. And it doesn't need us to be talking to someone. Hi, Samantha. It doesn't need us to do anything with them. It's just about sitting beside someone and just being there. Even if you're sitting there and you're both reading a book, or you're reading a magazine, or you're watching TV, or you're going for a walk, you don't need to talk about things. It's just having that quiet companionship and that support that your friend wants to spend time with you, even if you're feeling pretty rubbish. And I think when we can experience that validity, that reinforcement that I'm a valid person, I'm important to my friend, I'm important enough for my friend to drop everything and come and spend time with me, even though I feel rubbish, even though I might not have had a shower, or I might not have brushed my hair, or my house is a mess. It's just about being there with someone, and that support can provide so much for someone that, you know, at some point you can say to them, okay, is there anything else that you'd like me to do that might be helpful for you? And I think being able to ask someone what they'd like you to do for them is important. It makes them feel like they're important. And the experience that we had, you know, every single rider had on the weekend when we were challenged, it was someone sitting up on their bike, someone slowing down, someone putting their hand on your back and saying, no, you got this, you're okay, we'll get you through this, we'll get you to the top of the mountain, top of that super steep climb, we'll get you down this long, fast descent safely so that you can go back to your friends and family and say, I did it, I got this. And that's sometimes when in life it's as simple as saying to someone, you matter to me. And when we're feeling pretty rubbish, that's pretty hard to know, hard to remember. And so I think there's a great importance in listening to, actually really listening to, not just hearing the words, but with, I worked at a school, I've worked at a school for just under 10 years, and it was a Good Samaritan school, and one of their, they constantly talked about listening with the ear of the heart. And even though this is a Catholic, part of the Catholic approach of the Good Samaritan nuns and sisters at this school, it's what we do as psychologists and as counsellors. We listen with the ear of our heart. It's actually listening, not just hearing the words, but listening for what's behind those words. So listening to the intonation with which someone says, yeah, I'm fine, or yeah, I'm feeling great. And we know we get something behind that. We can hear how they're doing, and really listening to someone and hearing where they're at is so important and can help them feel like I'm okay. And spending that time with someone, just in quiet companionship if required, just going for a walk, that can have the same effect of validating what they're experiencing. And I think that's incredibly important. But I think the next step is if someone's struggling, it's about how we can get them, how we can help them get some assistance, because there are many people out there who can provide assistance when we're struggling with our mental health, when we're feeling unwell emotionally. And one of the writers who was on this weekend, phenomenal man, Wayne Schloss, who also has a foundation, has an organisation called Pucker Up, and he's all about raising awareness about suicide and trying to reduce that. But one of the things he talked about is the fact that at some point we need to start to treat mental health exactly the same as our physical health. If we feel sick, we go and get help. We go and see the doctor, or we go to the chemist. If we've been feeling sick for, a couple of weeks, we think, yeah, this is not right. I'm going to go to the doctor and find out what's actually going on for me. If we feel mentally unwell, if we're feeling sad or anxious, or we're struggling to get out of bed, or we're struggling to do the things that we want to do, then maybe if this is going on for more than just a couple of days, maybe we need to say, hey, I need help. And the people that you can go to seek this help are your GP, and asking for a referral to see a psychologist, or calling one of the helplines. There are lots of mental health helplines around, and I'll post them in a comment below this video when I've gathered them all together. Calling one of those, or jumping on the APS, the Australian Psychological Society website. There's a Find a Psychologist listing list there, and you can find a psychologist nearby you. There are plenty of websites out there that list psychologists, and we will be, we'll pay for listing, but we'll be listed there to provide that support to people who are struggling with their mental health. And I think this is something that we need to start making more acceptable within our society. If we're sick, we go to the doctor. If we're feeling unwell emotionally, cognitively, if we go to see a psychologist, we might be able to find a way of feeling well. And we might be able to start to feel more at ease, finding ways to manage that anxiety or manage those mood disturbances, and managing that distress so that we can feel more at ease and more content and experience happiness more regularly. So I think this is what I'd like for anyone watching this to take away, is ask for help if you need it. And if it's not you that needs it, if it's a friend that needs it, sit with them, listen to them, just spend time with them and help them seek help if they need to. And I would welcome you to share this video with anyone that you think might find it valuable. Share it with your friends, even if they're not mentally unwell, but share it with your friends, because I think this is something that we all need to start accepting. Mental health is just as important as our physical health. And the first step to helping us feel well emotionally and cognitively and psychologically is to listen to others and be with others and offer that support to others and let them know you're important, you're valuable, and I want to make sure you're okay. So thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope to potentially help you live a more enhanced life. So thank you very much. Goodbye.